Welcome to Unbiased and On the Fence. I'm Shane. Thank you all so much for joining on this beautiful day. And we have a wonderful guest. This is your debut appearance here on the fence, and it is Rose Harmonics. How are you doing today, Rose?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Oh, no, I was watching your videos. I was enjoying them. And I was like, oh, yeah, you're totally somebody that the viewers would love to know about. And I do have your link to your YouTube channel down below, so people can definitely go there and subscribe and get to know you better.
Great.
So here we are. So let's hear about sort of how you came to where you are. What's your backstory? Whatever you want to share.
Wow, my backstory. I have memories of being adopted as a child, and recently I had a Kundalini awakening, and everything started to make sense for me. My light language, my ability to play with electronics, like the ability of pyrokinesis and electrokinesis, everything started to make sense. At the beginning, I didn't know why, but I felt like part of my awakening process was for me to share, not because it was about me, but that we as human beings, we are capable of so many amazing stuff. We can do lots of hands-on healing, for example. We can be energy healers. We can be, we can communicate telepathically with each other because we have in our DNA blueprint those abilities. We just need to awaken.
It comes to mind when you say like messing with electronics, because I've heard a few different people talking about that, and it happens sort of accidentally. So I think they love the chance to sort of take it under control, so they're not knocking out the credit card machine at the grocery store or something along those lines. Because I hear these stories like this, and people do it by accident, but they realize it happens so much. They know they're doing it, but they don't realize how they're doing it, or how to stop it for one thing. So that's interesting that you mentioned electrokinesis, because that's in that realm of messing with electronics through energies and stuff, right?
Right, and we can create our capsule of light around us, like an aura field. We can protect negative influences like parasites or the mind control or electronic devices that are trying to penetrate our field. Like I know they have nanotechnology that is able to create some sort of implants in our mind, such, for example, I don't know, you have heard about a voice in skull type of technology, but because we're vibrating at such higher level, we can create this protection field around us, and nobody can penetrate when we are in a higher level of existence.
Oh, I totally agree. Yeah, I've been also, when you think about that voice to head technology that you hear, these people that do things and are like the voice of God technology, I think they call it sometimes, because they hear it in their head and then they go act on these things that they hear. First off, I think if you're hearing voices in your head like that, I often think of the story of Jesus when he was tempted, and Satan came to him and gave him some suggestions, but he never acted on it. So if you're getting suggestions to go do some kind of horrible thing, I would say to do what Jesus did and not listen to it, first off. But on the other hand, when we think about 5G technology coming out and all these nanoparticulates that they say are floating from the sky, it's I think it is important to sort of have this barrier or the shield that we can put around us.
And also, it's important to call upon our guides, our team, our spirit guides, like you said, Jesus, our spirit guide. It can be Jesus, it can be Mother Mary, angels. And interesting part about Jesus is that he's part of the Sananda group, and the Sananda group is a like a commander with ships that are coming on Earth to protect us from lower vibrational weapons and beings, right? The mind control group.
That's very nice. Yeah, that's reassuring to know. So back to okay, so you were adopted. Where were you from originally? Where were you adopted from?
I grew up in Spain and Argentina. So
Oh, nice.
my father from Spain, my mom from Argentina, and I had lots of experiences in the south because it's so rich in vibration. There are lots of ET visitations and encounters over there. So,
Oh,
yeah.
nice. Was that while you were still in Spain, or what? When did you actually come to the States? Were you adopted by Americans or?
No, I married an American.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. Um, 15 years ago. Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
came to the States around 15 years ago
Okay,
to
so these
start.
experiences happened over in Spain or Argentina, I guess.
Yeah, there are lots of UFO contactees, experiencers, lots of pretty amazing down there because people are able to report lots of chips in the sky. And here in America, we're a little more cautious about sharing this type of information because we're afraid of what people will think about us, right?
Right.
There is no such a thing in the South. We are more open to share about those paranormal events,
That's
paranormal
nice.
or supernatural, right?
Yeah. So have you ever gone up in a ship or anything like that, or actually talked with any extraterrestrials?
I think I had a communication, telepathic communication,
Oh,
but
nice.
um, I do not remember because we're supposed to come here with a veil of amnesia,
Mhm.
and it's part of our awakening process to start revisiting our purpose. And I do not remember exactly any type of conversation, but yeah, I think I was part of the group of those are the star beings that many of us are actually able to connect with because we are star seeds, right?
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
often feel like that too. Like I've been in contact and I don't remember because sometimes I'll just get information when I need it that, it seems to come from nowhere, but I think it's smarter than me. You know what I mean? so, so, so I don't know. Although it seems like something I thought up, it seems like it was delivered to me. You know what I mean? Like the information, like a download, like they say
yeah,
sometimes.
exactly. Downloads. We get
Yeah.
those of lots of downloads and inner knowing, right? Our intuition, that
Hmm.
we know things without reading it from books and stuff.
First discover your gifts were coming online? Like, what was the first sort of wow moment for you?
Hmm, good question. I think after my sister passed away and I started to see her in my dreams, and I also started to communicate with her, not with words, but with ideas and concepts.
Hmm.
She was very close to me, and after her losing her, I started to do a inner soul journey about my purpose. Life is so temporal, right? We are here one day, we don't know for how much longer.
Yeah. How old
And
were you when this happened?
that was 15 years ago. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
12, 15 years ago. So it was very meaningful and sad and transformational to lose my sister. and she was my best friend. So I started to try to connect with her uh, through the veil, right?
Hmm.
And I received lots of downloads too. And I feel like we all have the capacity to connect telepathically or with our loved ones if we open our heart and
Sure. Yeah.
allow the spirit to contact us. Yeah, I
Well,
started to realize the meaning of life, my purpose. I started to do lots of hypnosis too. I took hypnosis classes. I became certified as a hypnotist. And
oh
I
wow.
realized that I'm not the only one who also visit different realms and different parallel realities and different planets even.
Right. So you actually do sessions for people then, for
Yeah,
clients?
I do sessions and I also develop my own technique of hypnosis. There is a little bit of, I don't know if you have heard of Brian Weiss.
I think I have. I think David Wilcock talked about him maybe. I haven't looked into him very much. The name does ring a bell though.
Yeah, he did. He's studied past life regression. He has written many books. I was really inspired by his work. Many souls, many masters. And I put together a certification process in which you can not only do past life regression, but also you can do archetypal analysis and lots of like personality analysis
Hmm.
because the people like us who are attracted to this particular field are pretty much pretty bold. To be honest, we are really tapping into a very interesting type of information.
Don't you think that's probably because we're a lot of us are star seeds and we have this deep knowing that we have this bigger purpose? Is that what you think it is?
Yeah, we are we are a soul family. We can be doing something else, and we decided our purpose is to awaken humanity and be Earth volunteers or planetary great planters.
Yeah.
We are here for, and you are creating this beautiful template, your platform to create more conscious awakening.
Oh, I love it. I love bringing people together. And it's like this whole world I had no idea was even here with all these people I had no idea were here. And it's like we're all coming together like a big happy family reunion. So I'm honored. I really am. So I love having someone like you on here to let people know about
Oh,
you. And then
I'm
they can
so
come check out your
happy.
channel because we're all connected. We're all really working for the same team, you know?
And you know the your style of the conversational style is pretty friendly, non-intimidating. And I saw your previous interviews, and I see the remembrance, the resonance. I feel like the previous interviewees are part of my soul group too, and we are like a big happy family.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny because I get people that I talk to all the time, and some of them, I don't quite click with, and then other ones I feel like, oh yeah, she's definitely part of the family, or he's definitely part of the family, and it feels really good because there is a knowing, there is like intuitively, I know who to have on and stuff a lot of the time. So it's like
Yeah.
it's wonderful that. I have that. I have no idea how it works or anything, but I love the intuition of it. And I don't even script anything, like we
No.
talked a few minutes before, but I know like my higher self would come in and help me ask the right things to bring about whatever people who might be listening need to hear. And I try to stay out of the way, actually. You know what I mean? This 3D part of me, I try to help it stay out of the way so that, the intuition, the higher self of me and my, uh, interviewee can really just come through, you know.
Yeah, that's the only way I think to put our egos aside. Yeah, I agree.
Definitely.
It's so exciting to be here in these new times, actually, talking about this. I when I got certified as a hypnotist in 2001, we couldn't talk about this type of topics. We're taboo,
Hmm.
and we have evolved so much from a decade ago. It's so much freedom, not freedom of speech, but people are more awake and more open to to share information about ETs, about orbs, about telepathic communication, Kundalini awakening,
Yeah,
all those
that actually brings up
fun
while you're
stuff.
talking about orbs, I want to show this picture that you sent me because, gosh, it's just so stunning. Um, I got it right here. Let me open it so everybody can check it out. I got to bring this window up. This is you can't see it on the screen, but this is the one where you're standing outside and you're just surrounded with these orbs everywhere. Let me
Yeah,
see
that
if I
was amazing.
Yeah, they're just all around you. Now, could you see them when the picture was being taken?
I didn't see them.
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
see. It was
Well,
close to a waterfall,
yeah,
and people from the area said that it's full of fairies, full of what's the name? Elementals,
elementals. Yeah.
and the veils are thinning actually. When you are close to a waterfall,
Hmm.
you are able to capture orbs and a parallel reality, a new earth,
Yeah.
because
Yeah. Water is very energetic, and then there's
right,
usually lots of rocks around, and those can hold a lot of energy too, with Gaia.
yeah,
So yeah,
Gaia.
that's very beautiful. Okay, so we can pull the picture back down. Okay, so you're back now. So all right. So as far as your gifts coming online, so it started with sort of communicating with your sister. And then when did you sort of get into like the pyrokinesis or not or pyroelectronic or sorry pyrokinesis or electrokinesis? Is that the right name for it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pyrokinesis, I discovered probably 5 years ago playing,
Hmm.
pretty much experimenting, trying to do. Pyrokinesis is pretty much to influence fire with the power of your mind, but I don't use my mind. I do not use uh, my mind. I use the energy that comes out from my hands because I'm an energy healer. So the energy that is coming out from my hands is able to activate or to decrease the amount of fire, let's say. So it's not really pyrokinesis. It's a energy electromagnetic field running through my hands. The,
Ah, I see.
and I made a video about it, and I was able to snuff out the flame.
Yes, I saw you snuff out the flame in the matches, and it just sort of died down and went out. So you influence it with energy, and you can do the same thing with electronics as well. Or how does it work with electronics?
I do not play much with electronics because I feel like it's a little dangerous, to be honest.
Right.
But many bulbs explode
Oh yeah.
when I just like fully high vibe, and I feel like the lights start flickering and there is some sort of electro circuit that is not quite normal there. But
Right. Yeah, Roger Prescott, one of my viewers, he sent me some pictures of him doing that, like sort of meditating and making the light get brighter and dimmer and things like that. So I've seen that happen before. It's really interesting. But I guess more importantly was what you were saying in the beginning about learning to create a barrier as well from other electronics or whatever around you, right?
yeah, um, I feel like we are so connected to the web. The internet is a big field that can influence us, give us headaches,
Hmm.
or if we overuse it, right? Like the kids who are playing computer games, they get like lots of those type of electromagnetic radiation almost. And we need to constantly do chakra clearing, chakra balancing, energy healing to clear all those potent uh, influences that are coming from just the internet,
Oh
just
yeah.
or going to the airport and you need to go through a that capsule that
X-ray machine
gate.
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and lots that we're exposed to in the modern era. But also, for example, if you have a negative thought, it's gonna affect your vibrational level of your body and creating this aura, this capsule of, and that came from the ETs actually. The technology of creating a bubble of light around you,
Mm-hmm.
like an egg shape, to protect you from the influences from the outside.
Mm-hmm.
It's just electromagnetic power. And it has been proven that with a Kirlian photography, you can actually see it.
Yes, I'm trying to get one of those photos taken. So, because you can see your aura, you can see your chakras and all of that, the colors of your aura or whatever it is. So
Isn't that incredible?
it really is. Yeah, I can't wait for that. So I'm trying to do that. There's a crystal store in town where they do those photographs too, and
Oh, really?
I'm trying to do a special there, and maybe I'll get a free photo out of it. But I know people would want to know about how the pictures are taken and how it works, and about the chakras and the colors of the aura, as well as all the crystals that they sell. So I think it'll be interesting to go on location and do a video there.
That would be awesome. I would
It'd be
like to
really
see the color of your aura.
yeah, it'd be really neat. So you can't see auras or anything like some people, huh?
I can see now you have a white background, very conveniently.
Right. It makes it easier to see with the white background.
Oh, let me see. Do you want me to tell you?
Sure, yeah. That'd be awesome.
Okay. And people on the chat can also share
Yeah.
their
Yeah, if
ideas,
anybody
right?
can see it, that'd be awesome. Because I know Michelle's Opinions has seen my aura. I think she's seen it different colors, but I don't know. But yeah, I think we're gonna all be able to do that soon.
Oh,
It's gonna come
I
online.
see a little bit of purple around you.
Purple? That's cool. Yeah, it's so funny. My favorite colors have always been purple and green, and then people that see my aura will either say it's purple or green. So it's like, wow, that's why that's my favorite colors, I guess. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Have you ever had one of those taken by any chance?
No, never.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'd be really neat.
But people saw my aura also violet, a little bit of bluish violet. I'm trying to read the chat room.
Ronnie says, I see yellow. Uh, Liz says, I see orange and yellow.
Yeah, I think it's changing.
It could be. Yeah.
So, how do you identify yourself? Do you feel like you're a crystal or indigo soul or an old soul or perhaps what's the other one? Rainbow soul?
I do like rainbows a lot. Um, I've been told I'm an old soul. Like I've had, a couple of incarnations here on Earth, but um, in the thousands of total incarnations or something. So I don't really know. Um, it's hard to know with the veil. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't think young souls are interested in this type of conversations, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't you think? I mean, I feel, and I made a video about it. The young souls are more interested in people. All souls are more interested in ideas and concepts and
Right.
the supernatural.
Yeah, I'm definitely into the supernatural and technology and trying to reach a group rather than just a single individual. Like I'm like a one-on-one kind of a person, because like I chat on here with people all the time, but I don't typically, when I'm not on the air, I don't do much one-on-one conversating, with the people in my house, of course. but I do mostly emails and things like that. So I seem very talkative and very social, but this is you're seeing about all this the social part of me. You see, other than that, I'm sort of in and out of the store, and I'm kind of quiet. So yeah, this is I'm probably completely different in real life than what people see on here because I'm more outgoing, and I feel like it's more of a group thing here.
You're working for the collective, and that's a great mission. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're doing a great job raising consciousness, and I'm
Awesome.
trying to do the same with my hypnosis and my energy healing. I wanted to say something else, but I forgot about you. Also, also about that you don't communicate too much one on one. Do you feel like you fit in this reality? Do you
I
feel
do
like you
not. I
belong?
don't. I don't fit here. I can't imagine I've had 20 something lives here before. Because here on Earth and incarnations on Earth, because I just feel like this doesn't feel like home. It never really has, and I mean, it's sort of like I grew up. I was overly nice. I was too nice at times to where people wanted to take advantage of you. You have to put up this front because people. It seems like they realize how nice you are, and then they see it as an opportunity to take advantage of you rather than to sort of just enjoy your niceness and be around you. You know what I mean? So it's like I've been done wrong so many times that it just forces you to want to stay away from people. You know what I mean? It was like I saw this T-shirt once that said, "I was a people person until people ruined it for me." And
That's a good one.
I feel like my life was like that. It's like I'm a people person, but then people ruined it. It's like
The
people can't.
humans, because we're
Yeah,
not humans.
right.
Those humans.
Totally.
Yeah, that's another indication that you are probably starseed. We have this knowing that we do not belong, and we we are here with a bigger mission, and we do not fit in, and that's something that was part of my whole existence. I
Yeah.
do not fit.
That's why I love this group. It's like I feel like I'm with a bunch of nice people. Even Joel just said right there with you, Shane. So yeah, people understand where I'm coming from. It's like they've all been taken advantage of too from being too nice at times. I'm sure, or many of them have. So people get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. It happens.
So who do you, uh, as far as like getting information, is there anybody that you prefer? Do you follow anybody that does channeled information, or do you sort of just what's your background? Were you a Christian at any time or any
Oh,
religions?
sensitive, sensitive.
Oh,
No, no, it's fine.
oh, okay. Only share what you want.
No,
I came
my
from a
back,
Christian background, so you know.
yeah, I came from a Christian background too, a Catholic church. So
Right.
I went through lots of indoctrination and mind control. My dad did lots of experimentation with radio transmitters.
Mm-hmm.
And you read my story on
Mm-hmm.
my website. You can read that I was programmed to be one way. And after having my awakening, I was able to peel layers of my ego and peel layers of my subconscious to find out that I know this person that my dad wanted me to be. My dad wanted me to be a psychologist, a counselor. I became a counselor, but he wanted me to be in the military. So I needed to peel lots of layers of indoctrination. I love my guides, angels. I love Jesus. Still, I do not like organized religion.
Amen to
And
that. I'm right with you there. But yeah,
so,
totally. It's like Jesus is still my hero, but it's not the Jesus that organized religion sort of tells you about because he's not judgmental. He wasn't he was the most loving being there was and the most service to others person, you know what I mean? That he would do anything for you. And he wasn't hanging out with the religious people. He was hanging out with the people that, you know, the religious people thought were sinners and heathens, you know. And I think he was a rebel to the system. It's just they've turned him into supporting organized religion, but he never was for that. Even in the Bible, he called the religious people hypocrites because of how they were, you know, oppressing the people. And it's really, you know, I don't think a lot's changed in 2,000 years, to be completely honest with you.
You know, I live in the South where there's lots of like the Bible Belt type of community.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad I have a platform like yours and many others where I can spread my message to people outside who are more open minded. And I have lots of Christian friends, but there is no, you know, they do not understand where I'm coming from, the adoption and all this type of Kundalini awakening.
Yeah, the chat says you're right on. And so, yeah, you're in the right crowd here. Most of us have had to unindoctrinate ourselves because we realize there's a deeper knowledge, there's a deeper love that can be found, and that religion, for many of us, was a stepping stone to a deeper spiritual walk, you know, to defend with divinity, you know. So
Yeah, like when I started to do Reiki, I have my I started my channel 5 years ago. I started to do lots of Reiki and energy healing, and people said, "Oh, you shouldn't be doing Reiki because only Jesus heals." And I had this type of, um, you know,
totally, yeah. Even though Jesus
well,
himself said we would do the things he did and greater. I mean, that's right in the Bible. It says that. So it's like if Jesus healed people and he raised the dead, I don't see anybody in church doing this. You know, and I'm not like knocking them, but I'm saying that if you're really following Jesus, and I would expect you to do what he said you'd be doing. And so that's what sort of let me out of the church into pursuing just really following Jesus's teachings, just what he said, you know, because there's a lot of teachings that aren't even in the Bible from Jesus, and there's a lot of information there. And what is mainly taught in church isn't what Jesus actually taught when you get to reading it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I understand, and you have to be careful. A lot of your family's probably still Catholic, and
oh yeah,
you know, I'm sure you're the outcast, like many of us are the outcast, because,
black
and
sheep.
we're on our way to hell, you know, because I get it. You know, I'm the backslidden, you know, brother and or cousin or whatever to people. So
Oh, really?
yeah, the black sheep of the family, they call us, you
I'm also the black sheep. Yeah, tough. That's the way we are.
know.
So
But
yeah, we need to walk our path.
yeah. But you know, a lot of times I'll look and I'm like, well, I see other people that are in religion as being stagnant. They're not growing. You know, they sort of are kicking back. Maybe they're going to church all the time, but it's like they're relaxed at where they're at, you know. And I feel like we should always be pursuing a deeper spiritual walk and, you know, learning new things and just expanding ourselves.
Yeah, because religion wants you to have an intercessor, a bridge between you and source, and you can really connect to source directly. You don't need a priest or a pastor or an authority outside yourself to connect to a higher realm or your higher self or source
Hmm.
consciousness, really. So
Yeah, I
they
agree.
need to have all this hierarchy and all these people in power and telling you how to live your life. And we are sovereign beings. We do not need any intercessor.
Oh yeah. Even
Personally.
Jesus, they asked him how to pray, and he said, "Our Father who art in heaven," and he went into the prayer that we should be praying directly to our Father in heaven, not to the Father in the church. You know, he even said, "Don't call any man father," but yet, you know, we'll call the priest father and things like that. So there's so much
Right.
that is in the Bible that Jesus said, and we don't listen to it. You know, we sort of do our own thing, and so I think it's all there. I found my way out of the church with just the Bible alone, and I think anybody who says, "Hey, the Bible's the only authority," you can look in the Bible and find your way out of the organized religion. That's my personal belief. with the whole
Right,
thing.
exactly. I agree. 100%. Yeah.
So,
Do you have any experience with ETs or the star people?
see, I think
Or
I do, but no memory of it, you know?
mm,
And I don't know how many times I'm looking up there. I'm like, are you guys going to come visit sometime or what, you know? And then I kind of feel like they have, and I just don't remember, you know?
yeah, I think
So,
it's the bit of amnesia.
yeah, exactly. So, can you go back to the when you were talking about the Reiki healing and sort of how that works?
That was another story about the Reiki healing because I'm doing now energy medicine.
Mm-hmm.
Reiki is great, and I respect many Reiki healers out there, but you need to be attuned to a lineage created by Usui, the Japanese guru Usui. I don't remember his last name. And you need to have all sort of symbols that this guru created. And now, after a while, after doing it, I think it's a great modality, but I don't feel like I need to use symbols created by another human being to heal a person. I can create my own symbols. We all have the capability to create our own attunements, our own symbols, and to just using the good intent and the power of our hands, we can heal people.
Do you think
Um,
that's how Jesus did it too? Probably.
yeah, Jesus also was a great healer, and I don't think he used any symbols. Maybe he did, I don't know. But
You're talking about what they call sigils, where it's like just a design that you look at, or
yeah,
oh,
hmm
okay, okay, yeah, I've
so
heard of
I'm
those.
not Reiki anymore because I'm a sovereign being. I do not follow any particular lineage. And
Mm-hmm.
to be a Reiki master, you need to strictly follow the lineage of the father of the creator of the Reiki, Reiki, Reiki healing technique,
Oh, I
right?
didn't know that.
Yeah, you need to be under Usui, his last name. But I mean, we can create our own techniques. There are many great people healing just with the power of their intent and calling upon their spirit guides. And that's
Hmm.
sufficient to me.
Now you talked about light language before. Can you get into that a little bit?
Light language.
Is that a big
Okay.
one?
No, it's so much to say about it. And it's gonna sound a little far fetched, but
Is it sort of like in church where they speak in tongues? Did you ever go to a church where they speak in tongues
I
before?
have
Because
never been there, but it's similar.
okay,
You
because
you're
that's
an
my church was like that. That's why I asked.
oh wow,
Yeah.
another synchronicity. So you you put yourself in trance state and you receive the your voice starts changing because it's coming from the spirit. Now there are people who say it's coming from a extraterrestrial council, it's the Lyran group or it's the Palladian group. I do not know for sure. I feel it's coming from a benevolent ET race, probably the blue ETs or the blue ray of consciousness.
Hmm.
And one day I started to speak it out loud and said, "What the heck is this?" My God. And I started to speak, and I speak three languages, but this is a completely different story because you are not conscious of what you're saying, and then you can translate. At the beginning, I couldn't translate. I was blah, 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 speaking this light language, and I know it's part of my soul signature to speak it. I was really afraid to speak it publicly when I recorded the video in April. I put it unlisted. Say I won't be. I'm not ready to share it publicly, and somebody already like it. I go, oh my gosh, somebody like it. Okay, I'm gonna put it public. I put it public. I said, what the heck is that? And I put it unlisted again because I was thinking, oh my gosh, Oh, fear of rejection and all my old
I
traumas,
understand. Yeah,
fear
I
of
understand.
rejection, abandonment, all the story. And I said, well, I need to be brave. I'm gonna public. I'm gonna make it public. And people welcome it, and people were really ready to listen to my light language. Is like carry light codes, and you get activated. You feel a tingling sensation, or you feel a heat all over your body. Different people receive it differently. Some people heard me speaking Hebrew that I don't speak. I don't know, and my human mind doesn't speak it. And oh, you said this in Hebrew, or you said this in Latin. Okay, what?
That's
I don't
amazing.
speak those languages. And each person receive the message in the way that they can understand. Like somebody who is not ready yet, was not higher vibe, you say, what the heck she's speaking, right?
Mhm.
She's, you know, she's making it up, whatever. Or the people who are ready, gonna, oh, she's saying this, it is a message for me, or I feeling the tingling sensation and getting activated, so forth and so on. So
See,
I,
that's really not much different than how we were taught in church. That somebody would speak in tongues, and then someone would come along and interpret those tongues, and then there would be it was like the Holy Spirit that was giving both not only the tongues but the interpretation of the tongues. So that's really how we were taught. It was all the Holy Spirit doing it all, though. So that's really not much different than how I was raised. And I never lost my ability to speak in tongues either. It's not like I left the church and that ability went away. I feel like I could do it for the rest of my life if I needed to. But I would go to these prayer meetings during the week where we would just go and speak in tongues for hours. And I had no idea what I was saying, and I felt like it was wasted time later on. I'm like, man, all the time I spent going in, but we were like intercessor prayer warriors. So we were just sort of in there praying all day long, or not all day, but like a couple hours. It was open all day, and people would come and go throughout the day, and just we were like, sort of praying for the city or whatever the needs of the world were. So it doesn't sound a lot different. It sounds like the religions of it sort of added to it, but it's not really a lot different than what you're explaining.
yeah, it's pretty unique, and I feel like everybody has the capability to speak like language. You
Hmm.
need to go through probably an awakening process, probably just a dream or a hypnosis session can activate you like this, or perhaps a trip to overseas can activate you. You never know
Right.
because it's pretty unique, I feel.
How long did it take you to begin to be able to interpret what you were saying? Was that right away, or did it take a lot of time?
It's pretty fast. Actually, I started to translate what I was saying a year ago. The information is coming like a concept, like a block of information, and I'm able to, because I'm in trance state, my ego is in the back seat, and the spirit is taking care of the information, and it's pretty fast, pretty intuitive, pretty organic, and sometimes I don't know where the information is coming from, and people say, yeah, it makes lots of sense what you said to me. It's amazing.
It is really
um
amazing, and it gets easier over time, right?
yeah, it's easier over time. And I think you had somebody who spoke light language, or I mistaken. Do you have somebody that you interviewed before?
I may have. I can't remember right off now. Seems like
Or
maybe I have. I
maybe.
watch so many videos, and sometimes it's hard to remember if it was mine or someone else's. But yeah, I've seen it before. I don't remember if it was my show or not. So.
Yeah, and we are, because we're tapping into new earth consciousness, many people are gonna start speaking light language. I feel like many people are starting to claim their own power as sovereign beings and light
Well,
body beings.
Wouldn't that be something if these extraterrestrials or non-terrestrials came to Earth and we were able to just start speaking to them with what we consider to not really understand the language, but then at that moment it all sort of comes together. We begin to speak it, we know it, we understand it, and it happens like instantly. I can totally see that happening because for people speaking in tongues, that would happen. It would be they would get filled with the Holy Spirit and begin to speak in tongues, and it was sort of like an instant thing.
Yeah, I think we're gonna reach that point pretty soon. And what do you think about the event, Shane?
I think it's an ongoing process. I don't think it's like a one day thing. Like sometimes we're taught about the rapture that like all of a sudden things are going to shift and we're going to just get fly out of here or something somewhere else. I think it's a process, and we're going to have events, little events along the way, where our consciousness shifts, and so I think we're going to have some mini events, but I think it's going to be a transition because I keep seeing things are changing. They're not changing very fast, on a daily basis. But if, like you just mentioned, 10 years ago, some of the stuff we're talking about right now, there's no way we would have 100 people wanting to listen to us talk about this because they'd be like, what the heck are you guys talking about? I'm going to go, watch some music videos or something instead. So I think awareness is raising. People are getting more interested in this and okay with it, and I think it's becoming more acceptable to discuss these sorts of things. And so it takes time. So, but 10 years isn't really a long time. It is to us, but on the cosmic scale, it's really just a flash in the pan, as they say.
Right.
It's really
It's a
quick.
figment of time. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're living in many different timelines right now. You know, in the East was the Eastern time zone, you are in the Central. So related to you, I'm an hour ahead of you. So I'm in the future and you're in the past.
Yeah.
People from Europe are in the future timeline.
Hmm.
And all those timelines are merging because everything's happening in the now moment.
Yeah,
If
that's amazing. People in
yeah,
Australia are already into tomorrow right now.
do we have people from Australia?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we have people from
Yes.
Australia. We have that's I try to hit this time of the day because we right now, it seems to be the best time for everyone to start watching. Of course, people in Australia, it's just really super early in the morning there. It's like I
Oh,
think
yeah,
6:50 or something. But like the people in the UK, they're, people that work in the daytime are coming home, and so throughout Europe and everything, it's evening there. So I try to hit this afternoon time because it seems like the most people can take part in watching the show live and the chat and everything. So
right.
so it's a lot of fun though.
Yeah, pretty amazing.
It is amazing time. So how do you feel about the event? Do you feel like it's a I don't know. What do you think?
The
I think I
event.
heard you talk about it in your
The event?
yeah, in one of your videos.
Okay, yeah, like you said, it's a personal journey. I feel it's a personal journey. Each one of us, we're gonna go through a particular event, a mini awakening process,
Hmm.
like a mini activation. And at the global level, I also feel there's gonna be a big disclosure of the light and the dark forces. Um, I think David Wilcox mentioned about the event is gonna happen at the end of 2018, early 2019. I don't know, but my intuition tells me that it's gonna be probably in December this year, gonna be a catalytic type of awakening. Many people are gonna awaken to the
Hmm.
power, and we are tired of being part of the matrix. We're in survival mode. Many people are struggling. Many people are just tired of lies from the government, the mind control, the indoctrination, and there is a big, I feel like it's going to be a big manifestation. People are going to protest and be against the educational system, the drug, the pharma
Hmm.
system, all those powerful um, influences that are keeping us dormant.
Hmm.
And to me, I do not like to give forecastings of any type, but I feel like we're just, I can feel it. The human resonance of Earth is just pulsating and vibrating, and we can feel like something happening. Do you
Yeah,
feel so?
definitely. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. That's why people would say, no events happening. I'm like, dude, we're already in the middle of it. I feel like, it's just, it's like maybe like a peak, we're building up to, something big, and then we're shifting. So it just takes time. I feel like we need to be patient, expect that the best is yet to come. And we have plenty to do in the meantime to develop ourselves and to, nobody's perfect yet. So I think striving to be better and to start developing our gifts and things like that are things we can do in the meantime.
Right. And I feel like around the winter equinox, we're going to experience something because after going through two eclipses and solar flares, and the planets
Hmm.
are Mercury retrograde three times this year, and back and forth with the Mars influence, the past Lionsgate opening of the portals, and I felt intense frequencies coming through. I'm not an astrologer, but I can pinpoint the important events, planetary events, and yeah, I do not want to say the event is a scam because I feel it's something happening in the unseen reality.
Hmm.
I don't want to give predictions, but we, like many of us awakened beings, we are sensing some sort of the human resonance of Earth and the cosmic disclosure to the many people are starting to disclose their ET origins and their origins that are no human origins.
Totally, yeah. And that's becoming acceptable to even discuss something like that. Like you were saying, not too many years ago, we couldn't talk like that without people saying, "We need to lock you up. You're crazy." So, so what actually we're getting towards the end of the hour. I wanted to find out what you sort of do. What do you do in your practice to help people? What kind of stuff do you do besides
um,
hypnosis? And
Where I put together a certification process, a method that will help people to help other people to become more awakened beings. So that will help us going through the ascension process. The certification is called New Earth Hypnosis,
mm,
inspired on Brian White's type of past life regression. And people, the listeners, can get a discount if they visit my page.
mm-hmm,
They can get a 10% discount, and I use the numbers, the repetitive numbers like 333, 444, 111. So if you feel the resonance, you feel the connection to what I'm saying, you can visit my website. I
oh, you know
also,
what? I only put your YouTube channel down below. Do you actually have a website too?
sure, my website is rosecrystalofficial.com, www.rosecrystalofficial.com.
Okay. And
And
that's
I have,
is that CRYSTAL?
yeah,
Okay. And then official.com.
yeah.
All right. So I added it to the description
Look
below.
at me, I just discovered your website yesterday.
There we go. I'll put it in the chat too for you guys. That's live right now. Rosecrystalofficial.com. So that's
Thank you.
interesting. So do you do how is that? Is that like a one-on-one, or is that a like a classroom sort of setting?
It's
How do
gonna
you?
be format with pre-recorded videos and also live chats with me.
Mhm.
We're gonna meet on live using Zoom probably, and I walk you through. You're gonna be able to design your own script because the part of the creative process for you to tap into your own creative abilities. So you're gonna have like some scripts templates, and you're gonna learn how to create your own scripts, which is the coolest part.
Nice.
To, to use your intuition because each client is different. So one client is gonna give you a different feedback, and you're gonna say, "Well, the script says they need to take you to the future, but the client wants to go to the past or the higher self." So you need to be flexible enough to modify your script accordingly.
Right.
And now I can hear you better. Wow. Um, so you're gonna learn to do archetypal analysis, and this determine, for example, you play the role of the hero, the savior, the victim, because there are people who like to be victims, martyr, the what's the other one? The medicine man, the medicine woman. You can give that type of readings to your clients. You can do um, shadow work because it has some elements of Carl Jung type of psychotherapy, but it's not
Mhm.
psychotherapy, and lots of creative stuff. So if you're interested, and all your viewers can get a 10% discount.
Oh, somebody's saying they love your artwork. Let me. I
Oh,
didn't actually open up the website. Let me go look.
thank you.
That's really nice. Oh yeah, I have been here before. I just forgot.
Wow. Why do you forget?
Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Very nice. So, do they have to enter something? Oh, you already put it on here.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
very nice. UOTF participants. I see that
I
now.
talk to my future self.
That's neat. You know what's funny is like when I was checking out your page. Oh, I sent you an email about it, but let me share it with everybody else. I like I opened up one of her videos to check her out, and I was the 333rd viewer of the video. So I looked and it had 333 views. And then I saw she had 3.3 subscribers, but when I actually clicked on her page, it took me to her channel where it showed me the actual number, and it said 3330. She had 3,330 subscribers at that time when I visited her page. I'm sure it's more now, but
Yeah.
so not only did the video have 333 views, so I emailed her. I'm like, what's with you in the threes? And she said, oh yeah, threes come up a lot with me or whatever. So it was
Yeah,
so cool.
yeah, 333 is a star number actually.
I like that. Yeah, it was. I love those
444
synchronicities.
444 is more like angel type of communication, opening the portals, right?
I get so many different ones all the time. I know, like on it was funny on August 8th, I kept getting 888 all day, and then it was the end of the day that I realized it was August 8th, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's 88 today, and I keep getting 888s all day.
Oh,
So
the
it's
Lion's Gate portal is that was the 8 August 8th.
yeah, I need to get more into that because I never was really allowed to.
Mm,
Being raised Christian, it was like
right.
quote unquote evil to look at any kind of stuff like that. So I just never have went into it. I find it really interesting. I just don't get into it very much, just out of habit. Oh yeah, Aurora Rain said she saw a bunch of threes too. Oh, and 33 comments too. That's funny. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
checking out the. Yeah, no problem, Deborah. Deborah says, "Nice to meet you, Rose, and thank you, Shane. You
Oh,
are
nice to
most
meet
certainly welcome."
you. A big kiss to all your viewers are amazing too. Pretty cool people that you have connected with.
Yeah.
And I hope this is not the last time.
Oh no, no, no! It was wonderful. It was great.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd love
I
to have you
enjoyed
back in the future. So,
I enjoyed a lot. Thank you so
yeah.
much for having me.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. And I actually have another first time guest coming on tomorrow. So make sure you guys check the website. Let me put it on the screen. It is just www.uotf.net. And you can take a look at the schedules. And actually, Rose, you said it showed up in your right time zone for you when you went?
Yeah, it was perfectly.
Ah, that's awesome. So yeah, the schedule will automatically switch to your time zone for you then. So that's awesome.
Great.
So I think it has the next 5 shows on there. So lots of love to everybody in the chat. And thank you, Rose, so much for coming
Thank
on. It
you.
was a pleasure
Welcome.
talking with you.
It was a pleasure to
And
take
thanks for
care.
sharing your orb image too. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was fun.
All right. Talk
Thank
to
you
you
so
guys in the
much.
chat. Lots of love and light. Peace to you.
Love and light. Bye.
Bye-bye. If you'd like to support the work I do, go to paypal.me/UOTF. Thanks.